All right, so a little bit about what we did today. We went down to the March for Our Lives just to kind of see if we could get somebody with some perspectives that had any resemblance to an intelligent argument. No idea how many people are here, but it's kind of crazy. Not just gun control signs, you have people with every liberal issue known to man. Apparently white supremacy is the problem for gun violence.
Don't blame mental illness, blame misogyny, blame white supremacy, blame capitalism. We have to attack the
Okay, so rather early on, we ran into a sign that you just saw, the Blame It on White Supremacy sign by the Workers' World Party. So I did a quick Google search. I had to see who these people were. The first paragraph of their About Us section pretty much says it all. Workers' World Party is a revolutionary Marxist-Leninist party dedicated to organizing and fighting for a socialist revolution in the United States and around the world. So the question is, what does this have to do with the shooting in Florida? Or any school shooting? It has nothing to do with any of it. It's blatantly an agenda to take our weapons to push a socialist government. A socialist revolution, which is what happened in the Bolshevik Revolution. So they want to do it all over here. I'm not really sure if I'm at just a general leftist rally or if it's a strictly gun control rally.
All these other constitutional amendments have been changed in some way. Like, for example, freedom of speech, like Tinker v. Du Bois, that limited students' rights particularly, and like how we can't be disturbing in class if we were to use our speech. And so the only amendment that seems to have like lacking to catch up to the 21st century, and the one that definitely should have, would be the Second Amendment.
The nature and the meaning of the amendments have not changed. What we've done is we've passed essentially unconstitutional laws. Nothing about the amendments themselves have been changed in essence. So I'm not really quite understanding what she's getting at, other than pointing out that we've passed unconstitutional laws that violate our rights. That doesn't change the rights.
So it needs to be regulated accordingly, because someone shouldn't be able to take a gun down and just shoot down all these people in this room.
Well, they're counting the incident in Maryland this past week, which was only 2 victims. So you had the guy that shot his girlfriend and then either shot himself or was shot by the sheriff. They're not quite sure what happened there. But apparently, if that constitutes a mass shooting, then any more than 2 people getting shot is a mass shooting. So I don't know how many posters there are here, but it seems to be pretty loose criteria.
I made a sign of all the victims of mass school shootings since 1966, beginning with the University of Texas. These occur at almost a weekly, monthly basis, and we're just desensitized to it.
Are there any particular gun-conform measures that you'd like to see passed?
Well, I would like to see a ban on assault weapons. When I see, like, I have not been in the military, but I've seen videos and stuff of people who were, and they said they fired AR-15s and they're weapons of war. I heard from the sergeants at Parkland, it said, if you look at the damage an AR-15 does compared to a conventional gun, where that goes in and out, it's like you put the organs through a blender and they can't repair it, they bleed out. And why do we need weapons of war?
What else did we see? Oh, don't use children for target practice. I saw that sign. Usually I use paper.
I think that it makes no sense to have like AR-15s or other sort of semi-automatic weapons, and specifically ones that can be made into automatic weapons or quasi-automatic weapons. I think that's crazy talk. High-powered weapons in the hands of the public is crazy because it blows through a person's body and just rips it to pieces. There's no chance of survival after that sort of thing.
Okay. So you support a full ban on all semi-automatic weapons?
If I understand weapons well enough, yeah, I think the answer is probably yes. And I also think in particular about high-powered weapons, yes.
The myth for sensible gun control we've seen that busted with several repeal Second Amendment signs. So it's a lot more radical, at least in the crowd, than it's been made out to be in the advertisements. Because I don't know the laws. You mentioned that the machine guns, like full autos, should be banned. Are they banned?
Well, they're banned in Australia, Japan, Western Europe.
Right here.
No.
They're not?
No.
Yes, they are.
You can buy a fully functioning AR-15.
Is the AR-15 is that fully automatic? It is. Okay.
Yeah.
So on the AR-15, if you pull the trigger, more than one bullet comes out?
Yeah. In a few seconds, you get the entire magazine empty.
Guns have become the voice of America, and the government is becoming more negligent by this predicament by the day.
How would you say we rein that in? How do we rein
Yeah,
it
I don't
back?
know. I don't know. That's I don't have the answer to that. But something has to be done. Thoughts and prayers. It's not enough anymore. You know, what are your thoughts? Who are you praying to? And if your thoughts and prayers matter, how come these things keep happening? That's what I ask myself. So I don't know how to rein this. I don't know how to rein it in. But I know something has to be done. So I was hoping I could come here and get some answers today.
I'd like to take this opportunity, as we do every time that children die, to just tell you how your religious beliefs are invalid and stupid. So we're going to stand on the graves of children to invalidate your religious beliefs. What would you say to someone who will appeal to the Second Amendment, that it's their personal human right to defend their lives?
Yeah, well, it's your right to have a weapon. It's not your right to own an assault weapon. You know, and I think the two have somehow gotten gelled together, and now it's just like, oh, I can own an assault rifle. No, you can't. No, you can't. It's not your Second Amendment right to own an assault rifle, military-grade assault rifle. No, it's not.
So are military-grade weapons, are they legal for civilians to purchase?
I don't know that either, but what I do know is that for self-defense, what people normally get is a handgun. I'm a teacher. If my principal wants me to defend my school, he's not going to give me an AR-15. He's going to give me a handgun. A lot of these shootings, the death count, the number of deaths wouldn't be so high if these people were using regular handguns, but they're not. They're using automatic military-style assault weapons.
What about the Virginia Tech? They used a handgun.
Yeah, and that was to me that was an anomaly. I still don't know how a guy got off that. He was able to unfortunately kill that many people with a handgun. I think that was a breakdown in their system of security. I don't know, but You're right. That's a good point.
So you would say like better security would be part of the solution?
I think in terms of the solution, I think we're past the point of better security. I think we're past the point of those. I think we've gone all the way to this direction now, where we just have to. They have no place in our society. There's no room for guns in our society. That's my personal opinion. I know everybody's not going to agree with that, but just in my heart, I feel like there are no place for guns in a peaceful society.
The Trump administration, would you describe them as like tyrannical in a sense?
Tyrannical?
Yeah.
I don't.
No?
I mean, I would describe them as a lot of things, but maybe not tyrannical.
Okay. Would you trust them to?
I don't trust them. No.
So you don't trust them?
No.
Do you don't trust them to protect us?
No.
No? Because I gotta be honest, I'm on the other side of the aisle on this issue. So I don't quite get the logic of we don't trust the Trump administration, yet we want them to take our weapons.
Okay, well, if you're a journalist, you shouldn't be telling me what side of the aisle you're on.
No, I'm not. I'm just, what would be your response to that?
I don't have a response to what your feelings are about the Trump administration.
That's not a feeling, it's logic. So if you ask them, why should we trust the Trump administration to keep us safe, they get triggered. We thought we were done, and we happened to run into Charlie Kirk and Kyle, the Parkland High School survivor. So that was pretty cool. We weren't expecting that.
What does AR-15 stand for, by the way? since you're a subject matter expert on firearms.
It stands for cowardice.
No, what does AR-15
It stands for cowards wanting so many guns because they're all afraid of something.
How many guns have my guns actually, how many people have my guns killed?
You tell us.
None. It's funny how you leave guns alone in a locked box, nothing happens to them. So maybe it's not the guns that are the problem, it's the people that have evil within them.
You don't have a commanding officer.
Sir,
You're not in a well-regulated militia. Is there a part of well-regulated you don't understand?
So let's talk about that. If you read the Federalist Papers, they expounded well-regulated militia as a people-driven, equipped army that was able to be decentralized, not necessarily part of the federal government. It's in Federalist 71 and Federalist 14.
Did you ever look up the word regulated?
Yeah, and actually the Supreme Court has had over 25 different decisions in the last 30 years about it, such as the Heller decision, where they enumerated specifically that individuals such as myself can own AR-15, shotguns, rifles, and pistols. So you tell me how that's unconstitutional. The Second Amendment has been argued in front of the Supreme Court and held up that I can own these guns.
Something's going to change because a new generation is coming, and they're not cowards, they're not afraid, and they won't need all these guns. This generation of high school kids around here is brave, and they don't want guns.
There's nothing
they're
brave
not
about
cowards
wanting to take
like
people's
you.
rights away. Tell me what's brave about taking people's rights away.
You think it's a right that you deserve, but you don't.
Can you expound
on that? And you're sure it's a right you need because you're a coward. That's why you want the guns. You're afraid, but you won't admit it.
No, actually I have very little fear because I own so many firearms.
But you only have 2 guns.
That's circular thinking. You are a coward. That's why you want the guns. You told us you were afraid someone was going to come and steal your possessions.
No, I'm very much not afraid. If they come in my house, they're not going to exit alive.
Because you have the guns.
Yeah. And I'm well trained, and I'm responsible, and they're locked up. If you sleep with your doors open, God bless you, because I don't have that kind of trust in humanity. Who's they? Millions of criminals that walk our streets that wish harm upon good people. I never used the word fear or afraid once. I have a rational skepticism towards human beings' likelihood to commit crimes against good people.
Why are you so quiet?
I'm just curious.
You're a quiet coward.
Hey, piss off, buddy. I don't know why you're such a bully. I mean, why are you bullying him for his opinions?
He's the guy with 15 guns intimidating all the people here.
I appreciate your service, but you're a coward because you're bullying him because of all these guys supporting you. Okay?
Listen, let Daddy talk, okay?
Piss off, old man.
He doesn't think you're bright enough to say your own piece. Let him talk.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to you because, quite frankly, I don't care what you have to say. I think you guys all associate with groupthink. I don't think you're smart enough to think for your own, quite frankly, sir.
He won't let you speak for yourself.
You're being a bully. You're all being bullies. See, this is what you guys do. This is what the liberals do. You guys all gang up on people who think differently than you. Okay?
And then we kill 33,000 of them.
This young man right here is a survivor of Parkland, and he tried to speak at this event. He tried to speak at this event, and guess what? They didn't let him because he thinks differently than all of you. Okay? He's a student. He's on the TV networks, and guess what? CNN didn't invite him to the debate. He didn't invite him to the town hall.
Why?
Because he thinks differently than all of you.
Why do you want guns?
Let me talk. Look, you know what happened in Nazi Germany when a democracy quickly went into a tyrannical government? It's that specific reason.
So you're scared?
No, I'm not scared. It's a reasonable. Yeah.
See, he's a coward and he won't admit it.
Don't point fingers at him. Don't do personal attacks.
That's good for you, man. Get out of your system.
He came over here.
You're not a coward. You're not a coward.
He came here.
He's a coward because he wants to defend himself. So now bully a 16-year-old.
He's a coward because he's scared, and that's why he wants all the guns.
Being scared is a coward. I'm scared is a coward.
If you're scared,
okay. So I have a question for you. If one holds a gun to someone else and they're scared, they're cowards, right? That's what you just said. Follow through your logic. Anyone who's afraid of something is a coward. So I'm sorry if there's
no.
That's
anyone
what you said.
that hoards 15 guns.
That's not what you said, sir. You said anyone who is scared of something is a coward.
Hiding behind the
Follow
laws
through on your
No,
consistent
anyone
logic.
that responds.
See, the problem with this whole thing
anyone
is
that responds to their fear by hoarding guns.
That's not what you
is
said,
a coward.
Sir,
that's what I'm saying.
Sir, okay, so now you're changing what you said. So let's redirect.
So you're at this march because you're afraid of guns, right?
So you're afraid of guns.
I was in the army. I know what they do.
So why can you be afraid?
Were you ever in the military?
No, sir.
It's an irrelevant argument.
You don't even know what it was.
Service.
Here's a veteran. Are you a gun nut too?
I am.
And you came here just to troll us.
We're not
No, I came to cover it.
This is public land, okay? This is federal land. Everyone can have their own opinion here.
It's not even that. I think
you can bully a 16-year-old if you want to. No one's going to call you a coward.
I mean, there's diversity of opinions among veterans too. So, I mean, I would never call a veteran with a dissenting opinion a coward.
33,000 gun deaths in America a year.
How many car deaths?
You're going to do nothing.
How many car deaths,
Most of them are suicides.
We have licenses for cars, and we have insurance for cars.
We have
liability for misuse of cars.
Okay, so I think everyone here is for some sort of extra regulation, background checks, or whatever it is. That's not what we're afraid of. We're afraid that it's not going to stop there, okay? Because it's not going to stop there. The left's end goal is to take away all of our guns. That is their end goal, okay? They want to control every aspect of every part of life. They want to control your education. They want to control your health care. They don't want to take away your guns, okay? The left wants complete government control, and they're going to do that by taking away your individual rights and taking away your guns. So, you know.
When people use the veteran card for moral high ground, it really irritates me because it's dismissing the fact that there's dissenting opinion among veterans and using that as sort of leverage over somebody that hasn't served. It's really just disrespectful to people that disagree with you that have served. So that bugged me. So I just want to get what your impression is of most of the marchers. What are they trying to accomplish?
Well, dude, I think it's clear if you've seen any of the marches, there's a lot of anti-GOP, a lot of NRA. And you can have your opinion, but to mask the marches just trying to end school violence is ethically wrong, when in reality it's an anti-gun march. On the website itself, which is undeniable, it lists that they want to ban weapons of war, and no one should have an AR-15. No one should be able to have it, or no one should have access to it. So it's very clear.
I've gotten the same, and they don't seem to understand what the difference is between semi-automatic, et cetera, et cetera.
Good, right? I talked with a lot of people, and they still think that automatic weapons are still allowed in the United States.
They don't seem to understand how weapons operate.
I will. Thank you, sir.
Why are Second Amendments important to you?
Well, look, it's just the general idea that we have to have a deterrent for a government to take over
so tight.
and it's happened so many times which a government that was like seemingly peaceful turned against citizens. The reason for the Second Amendment is to have a deterrent for the government.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here to observe people that I disagree with and to see what kind of people they are, what their arguments are. Most of them don't even know what a firearm is. They don't understand the Second Amendment. They don't understand what it's for. They don't understand why it exists. They're like, everyone's talking about how, oh, in Europe they have these laws, or oh, in these other countries they have these laws. But those countries also don't have freedom of speech. They don't have the freedoms that we have here. And, you know, people keep saying, oh, we're just talking about comprehensive gun control. We're not coming for our guns. I have on my phone here about 5 photos of signs of people saying, we're coming for your guns. We wish Obama took your guns. Repeal the Second Amendment. But yeah, these are the same people who are talking about how, you know, they don't want the government. They don't trust the government, but they want the government to be the only people that are armed.
You know, you can get a handgun and you can get maybe a rifle to go hunting, but as far as these military-style weapons, military-grade weapons, they have no business in the hands of regular civilians.
It serves as a to prohibit tyranny, keep our government in check.
Let's just say that if there has ever been a demonstration of why popular opinion shouldn't guide policy, I think this was a pretty good one. Nobody seemed to really know what a semi-automatic weapon is or how they function, the difference between a semi-auto or a fully automatic, or really nobody had any grasp of our current gun laws. I would say that's probably pretty important at a protest asking for gun reform. You should probably be somewhat educated.